The essentials first. Hey, what's your name?
Judy Mesoline.
Okay. Now, this is an off the beaten path kind of thing that someone normal wouldn't normally do. Give me kind of a rundown. What is?
You're saying I'm not normal.
Maybe I am.
Well, duh.
What's the name of your book?
Crazy lady down the road. That's normal.
How'd you get that name?
After opening this, the locals are the ones who said, "Oh, that crazy lady down the road." And so when I did my book, I said, "That's the title of it, you know." But and I told them, I said, "It's all your fault, because that's why I started this, was from the stories of the locals. So if they hadn't told me stories, I'd never even thought of doing a UFO watchtower."
That's it. One second, Amanda. Some space there. When I first saw that thing that I watched last time, you did learn about it through the locals. Now, you said it wasn't like just one story.
No. Everybody's got a story. I mean, you start talking to the locals around here, and when they feel comfortable, then they open up and tell you all of the bizarre things that have happened to them. So, yeah, it's been one after another, after another, after another.
Now, this can't be what you first originally wanted to do here. I mean, what were your original plans of this area, and what happened?
Moved here from Golden to raise cattle, Scottish Highlanders. Well, after being here for 4.5 years, I discovered they just don't eat sand real well. And it was costing so much to feed them. I had to feed them year round. So then I had to sell the herd because I ran out of money. And so I was working at the gas station up in Hooper, and I was talking to one of the farmers one day, and I said, "You know, I had to sell the cows, but I don't want to sell my land." And he said, "You need to put up your UFO watchtower you've laughed about, because you'd have fun." Well, I've had fun, but we've also had experiences, and that makes it even more fun.
Tell me what led up to the UFO. What kind of things have people said they've seen here in the San Luis Valley?
We had one gentleman who was talking about how, and this was funny because we went to the cafe for breakfast, and he's sitting at a table with his nephews, and he turns to me and he says, "You're that lady that's going to put that thing up down there, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I got to tell you what I saw." And the nephews looked at him and their eyes got this big, and he hadn't told any of the family about it. So anyway, he proceeded to tell me, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, he was out changing his irrigation tubes, and this bright light appeared, and all the irrigation water went blood red. And then the light disappeared and the water was back to its normal color. So that was kind of fun. Our UPS man, he's got a number of stories to tell, but he talks about how he and his nephew were driving along the highway, and this spaceship appeared above them. And he said, if I would speed up, it would speed up. If I slowed down, it would slow down. And he says, finally, I just stopped. I got out of the truck and I yelled, "Do you want to make contact or what?" And he said it took off and went around the mountain, went around a bend in the mountain. So they thought that they had lost it, and so they continue going on the road, and they go around the bend of the mountain, and there it is sitting there waiting for him. So, you know, pretty bizarre stuff. One of the farmers was saying how he was driving down the road, and there was one in the field next to him. And again, if he would speed up, it would speed up. If he slowed down, it would slow down. He said, and this happened for about 5 miles, and all of a sudden it just took off. So, yeah, those are some of them. People talk about the strange lights, and there's...
Which led to the creation of this idea. I mean, this idea, it couldn't solely be for locals to come and look at UFOs and everything. What are you trying to get out with this?
At this point, information. You know, I think people need to be educated. And there is something really bizarre going on up in that sky. I'd like to know exactly what it is, and I'd like for one of them to land here so we could sit down and have a chat. But until that time comes, we get all kinds of folks. We get the skeptics, we get the religious people, you know, we get the hardcore believers, and I take everybody for their word. Whatever they tell me, that's what it is. I'm not going to question anybody here. We get abductees. I've had hundreds of abductees from all over the world come visit. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but maybe someday we'll find out.
So now here you are, and you have this place that's starting to gain a little bit of awareness and popularity. What would be, one second I get the shot here, but what would be the best way to describe what you've made here?
I have made a place for people to go and talk about their experiences. And it's so hard, you know, when you experience seeing a UFO or you think you've been abducted, it's hard to tell anybody about it because immediately, well, what were you drinking? What were you smoking, you know? And for somebody to take you serious, folks are looking for somebody to take them serious, and they want to talk about it. So I think that's what we have done here. They can come here and talk about it freely, and nobody makes fun of them.
So, but too, also this obviously has evolved into what we see today. What was the goal? How did this happen?
Well, I had some psychics come, and they're the ones that told me about the vortexes, and they're the ones that suggested, see, they also said that there are two large beings here who protect the entrances to the vortexes, but they are also here to help. And so if you need any type of help in your life, you're to come in the garden and ask for it. The psychics are the ones that suggested we put in a garden and give people a place to go rest, relax, meditate if they want, and ask for help. So I mentioned it to my webmaster. The next weekend she was down here building a rock garden. And so that's all fun and games, you know. And she's very upset with me right now because I have permitted people, and I've requested from people, to leave something in the garden and get their energy here as well. So she says, look what you've done to the garden.